Was that any better? I've been talking to myself this whole time. Some settings got weird. I've been talking to myself this whole time. That's awkward. So, here we are in Charleston, South Carolina, in the early morning, getting ready to head on our way down to Speedweeks, which is basically the beginning of the NASCAR racing season. It starts off in Daytona, Florida, with several races in the preceding week, which is this week. So this coming Sunday is the Daytona 500, so we're going to fly down to for the festivities, starting here in Charleston, South Carolina. We're then going to head down to Savannah, Georgia, make a stop there, fly our way down to Jacksonville, Florida, and finally ending up in Daytona. And we'll probably do a little flyover of sorts there before doing the landings. So we'll say hello to the folks in chat. Allison Johnson's here. Good to see you. Hope your work week is doing well. Cap at 9 is in. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Noel is here. Good to see you. Chilled Corky is in. Good evening to you. Technical is in. Good evening to you as well. Wayland 2021 is also in. Guten Abend, mein Freund. Dougal McTavish is here. Yes, we're on Twitch for this week. Just kind of a problem solving, if you will, seeing if it's more stable on my system to do the single stream than the dual stream. Good evening, Kingsman9965. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, little technical difficulty. OBS decided not to see my microphone for some reason. Wayland, a little scared with logging in. Sim said you. Well, that's interesting. Two-Tone Murphy is in the house. Good evening to you, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope work is. Today is your work Monday, wasn't it? Hope it was treating you well enough. This is a. I'm sorry to hear that, Allison. I like the way you phrased it, but I do feel that does suck. We're one day closer, Allison. We're one day closer to the weekend. Rad Pilot Randy's in the house. Good to see you. So yeah, taking off from this little fancy little airport, and we're gonna be in the 182. It's another one of those airplanes I don't think gets enough love. It's had its share of tribulations and teething problems since being introduced into the sim. I think it was the first one that Carenado brought to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So it's been a while since it's been stable, but it is now, and it's fun to fly. So yeah, we're gonna get into this bad boy, fly around, and we have friends with us. So we're gonna go ahead and get rolling. We're gonna go ahead and shut the door. Gonna leave the window open a little bit. Yeah, same. I know the feeling, Dougal. So master switches, beacon. Get rid of the noises. And prop and mixture to full. Throttle is cracked. I'm gonna fix the trim because it's wackadoo. And clear prop. The one downside, oh, there's no sound on that either. There we go. Man, OBS is all kinds of weird today. So, okay, turn on the avionics, turn on the taxi and nav lights, get that screen going. Our flight plan is in. We're going to get the, wait for this to sort itself out. So we're going to keep it low, set it to 25, set it to nav. I'm going to change the CDI mode to GPS. I'm going to put the transponder on altitude mode. We're going to turn off the inset. Vertical speed we want to set to 700 foot a minute. As we let the engine stabilize. Ailerons into the wind is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. You are the stair master. I can keep staring at your progress on your home improvement build progress. All right, so gonna release the parking brake, and we're gonna start making our way down to the runway for departure. We just got buzzed. So I hope everyone's doing well, or at least as well as they possibly can. For this glorious Tuesday. I was able to wake up this morning, therefore it cannot be a bad day. Draco Sensei is here, just getting set up now. Should be awesome. We're just getting rolling. So, you've got time. Ooh. Oh. Roger that. I had a feeling, but I'm glad you confirmed it. Sunrises in this sim just look amazing. Ooh, little bump in the taxiway. So last time we were on air, we were having some fun in the jets, and my system was being very uncooperative. Oh, and it looks like folks have pulled off to the side. Gonna go ahead and just cheek my way around everyone. Oh, we got a couple of 182s. That's awesome. Nice to see some love going out to the 182. So as we cross the hold short line, strobe lights come on, taxi lights come off, and landing light comes on. Going to get ourselves lined up. We're in the wind. I'm going to slowly add throttle in, try to keep her on the center line as best as we can. There's 30 inches of manifold. And we're up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the flaps up. We're going to trim down. And then we're going to watch the fireflies take off. We'll do an orbit or two of the airport. Kind of have a look at the scenery. Because we have a glorious sunrise, rather. That we'll be sure to take a gander at. So we have more fireflies departing the active. This sim just never stops amazing me on how good it looks. I know that there was big .NET framework updates in the Windows Update thing. And it was cutting it close for me getting loaded up and get the stream started on time. But no worries, if it takes a minute, we'll be here for you. I don't plan on going too awful fast. In fact, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and activate our autopilot system, and we're going to dial back the engine power. To about 2200 RPM and 22 inches of manifold pressure. Gonna go ahead and close up the cowl flaps. Let's see. Draco says, I ended up ordering the autopilot panel ship here. Awesome. Yeah, I know the feeling. Goblin Zeus is in. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Yeah, Kingsman, that's been causing been a strong point of consternation lately. The big update causing server instability and such. Hopefully it'll all smooth out between the world update and the sim update within the next couple weeks. with the world update, I believe, coming out Thursday. So, speaking of Thursday, I will be taking Thursday off from streaming because on Saturday I will be streaming for the SimWings event down in Chile. I'm not the primary streamer, but I'm going to stream it anyway. Let's see. Never been this bad. Yeah. It's getting kind of ridiculous. But hopefully the update will smooth it out. Oh gosh, Dougal, I need to do a thing so you can post links. Okay, let me try that again. It didn't. I'm making it so you can, so give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Try it again, Dougal. Hey, now it works. So yes, SimWings, fantastic organization doing fantastic things, helping the less fortunate and those who otherwise don't have the access to flight simming. They help those folks get access to flight simming. So a very worthy cause, if I do say so myself, because I love flying in flight sims. So being able to share that joy is huge. Huzzah! That's awesome, Dougal. That's good to hear. So we're at a cruise altitude of 2,500 feet. We're cruising along 120 knots indicated. As we're flying here in the early morning down in Florida. That would be awesome. The winner, not really the recipient, the chosen recipient. So yeah, that sounds awesome. Can't wait for that. That stream's gonna be epic. The only thing I wish I could do is stream it in VR, but my poor little computer just does not have the oomph to do it. But it's going to be fun regardless. So we're making big progress with the Two-Toe Murphy Joint FS community. Community? Is it a community within a community? I don't know. We're making some great progress with our friend Ed Reed on some ATC stuff for our Joint FS program. Specifically going to be setting up some ATC crash course sort of thing. Some basics, a nice casual introduction to the world of talking on the radio, which is fantastic. Ed Reed is former real world ATC controller, and also is a former VATSIM supervisor. So a lot of experience and knowledge on his end, and I'm excited to have him share the knowledge in a controlled and fun environment, emphasis on fun, because that's what the whole community is about, is enjoying the experience and having fun and also learning at the same time. So lots of exciting stuff going on. Definitely tell the air is moving around, even though we're running few clouds, and it's around 7:30 a.m. here in the sim. So we get a 182 in formation. So I'm entertaining the idea of a new Thursday kind of theme for the channel, where I travel to the racetrack that NASCAR is going to be at. You don't have to be a fan of racing, but it's a nice structured, or not, I guess not structured so much, but an easy to follow sort of plan. To be like, this is where they're racing it this week, so we're going to fly to the nearest airport to the racetrack as if we're going to see the race. I think it's a fun idea. What do you guys think? Wow, that's a lot of fireflies. Toxic Twin is in the chat. Good to see you. Just seen the other day, we had a very nice. Well, it sounds like we have a new Thursday stream theme. So you may not be able to tell, but I've been doing a little bit of revamping on the layout again. It's always kind of in a state of change. I like keeping the layout simplified, but at the same time, it's easy to get things overcomplicated. So I reduced the screen footprint of my social media icons, I guess, which helped me condense some other things. You may have noticed on the starting soon screen we had a slideshow. So I've been tweaking some stuff. Noel likes the idea. Technical likes the plan. This route currently takes us to Daytona International Speedway, which is right basically next door to the Daytona International Airport. I'll have to look at the race schedule, but I think the next one takes us out west. Let's go. Schedule. Looking up the thing. So this week is Daytona. Although we might have to skip it next week because apparently they're back at Daytona next week, which is a little redundant. Then we'll fly from Daytona down to Homestead, Miami, just down towards the tip of Florida. After that is Las Vegas, then Phoenix, back to Georgia, so Phoenix, Arizona, then Atlanta, Georgia, Bristol, Tennessee, Martinsville, Virginia. So we're going to be all over the place. I think it's a good idea, and then eventually we'll get into Alabama and Kansas and back to South Carolina and Delaware, Texas. It's going to be fun. How you doing, Epic Fool? Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Doth my eyes deceive me, or do I see a Seminole back there? We got a 172 Caravan. Ed Reed is in, also known as Shaney Train. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Ah, Technical is in the Seminole. Lovely airplane. You can't go wrong with the 172. We got someone down below us. It looks like a Bonanza. Gave you a bit of a shout out there earlier, Ed, talking about all the wonderful things we've got planned for the Joint FS and air traffic control stuff, because we're going to have lots of fun with it, and we're all very much looking forward to it. It is loud. That's the only downside of the 182, is it's not quiet. If I could get Joint FS to run right, I would have taken X-Plane. Well, we'll get it sorted. We can help you get it sorted out there, Stuart. Just need to tell us what it's doing, and we can get it sorted out. Well, yeah. I appreciate your humility, but your wealth of knowledge is going to be a huge asset, and we're all looking forward to it. Ah, it's a VL3. From up here, it looked like a Bonanza. Not that we're, super high in the sky. I've never flown in one IRL. I mean, I think it's a little louder than it really would be. It's The 182, it's going to be louder than a 172, but I think just with the sound engine, it sounds louder in the sim than in real life. Oh, well, not even launching, that's a problem. I know Windows wants to try and block it, but... Oh, that's interesting. I have a feeling that it's Allison off to our left rear, or it might be Stuart. I can turn on the name tags if I really wanted to. That's Dougal. Aha, I was wrong on both counts. Wow, that's a lot of fireflies. I'm going to turn that back off. No worries, Allison. That's really odd that your system just doesn't like it that much. That's very, very strange. Ah. Yeah, we're keeping it slow. Ish. And the 182 is just a slick looking aircraft. %, Allison. Everything's better with steam gauges. And honestly, I almost wish we had an older 172 instead of just a steam gauge version. You know, kind of like the Coronado C172N. Do they have a Doberman whose name was Shane? Aha! That explains it. That is true. I'm partial to the Cessnas myself. You get a better view when flying. The low-wing Pipers are good for seeing in the pattern. And apparently we're picking up an AWAS. We'll fix that wagon. As Hung Start is now following on Twitch. Many thanks, my friend. Hope you enjoy the content. Said named a shepherd of my chain, which actually meant to be. Aha! Dogs are great. So it's definitely a wonderful day for some sim aviation. Oops, that's the wrong button. There we go. Down a little bit. I did with PPL in a low-wing Robin and my first Cessna flight. Yeah, I mean, they're great for different things. I like Cessnas. They float a little bit, which can be good and bad on landing. I mean, most of my life spent in a Cessna of one form or another. The big trouble with the Cherokees, at least, is once you pull the throttle, they like to sink fast. Cessnas are a bit more forgiving in that aspect, is where they will float a little bit on landing. It's just flashing my landing light to you. It doesn't want to let us swing around that way, so we'll have to go the long route. I'm still not accustomed to Cessnas with a rear window. Yeah. See, I've flown in a Bonanza once. Cherokee maybe a handful of times. Most of my flying's been in a high wing of some kind, not including commercial flights because those don't count. Not really flying. Beautiful, beautiful sunrise over the ocean, which is, of course, the Atlantic. Wonder where we're at. We're about 25 nautical miles from our first stop in Savannah, Georgia. As we get outside of the airplane and check on the fireflies. So we're stopping at Savannah Hunter Executive, I think, or Hunter AAF, which is Army Airfield, which is just outside of downtown Savannah, Georgia. Uh-oh, CTD for Whalen. Ouch. Kingston started off flying Cessna 150 PHA. Nice. Plus 150. Yeah, it's a fun little airplane. Bulldog mainly, but a few PA-28 recently. Oh wow, fancy diamonds. Let it shine bright like a diamond. That's a very unfortunate, Wayland. I know I've been plagued with them as of late. I've done a couple of things here and there to try to alleviate it, including turning generic models for ground or static. What's the right word? For parked aircraft, parked AI aircraft. I turned the generic models on for those and reduce the number, so hopefully it helps. I had a couple during Murph's stream last night. One was really odd, but it happened at the same point in time as my dinner was showing up, so it kind of worked out. The French have a different attitude about rules? You don't say. And one right today, the new update. Yeah. I'm really hopeful for the new update. Not only that, but it gives us a chance to start re-exploring Ireland and the UK and Scotland and whatnot. And then I guess France is coming out after that. So hopefully that will be nice. So we'll check on our distance. We're 17 out. I believe that is our destination right there. A friend of mine is beta testing the Spitfire and it looks so sweet. Yeah, I can't wait for Warbirds to start coming in because they're going to be fantastic. You know, the Spitfires, I think that there's probably more stuff in the works than I'm aware of, which is fine. So I know Spitfire, DC Designs is putting out or working on a Stearman, which would be fun, a nice biplane. Airplane Heaven's working on their own Spitfire and a DC-3. Wing 42 is working on an is it the 247 Boeing 247? Kingsman is 23 miles out just behind us. Roger that. Goblins, I'm French. I hope good stuff for sure. I lived there for what? Wailing. I must be over the upper class region. Lots of swimming pools. That's pretty common down in Florida. Yeah, the DC-3 is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to see what they do with both Dunkirk and Normandy, but that's just because I'm a history guy. Wouldn't mind touring the Maginot Line. So much to explore in France, really. What do you think will be the best? That's hard to say. I don't know much about the one that's currently in beta. Aeroplane Heaven has a good reputation. I don't know. They both look fantastic, and you know, I think the Aeroplane Heaven's doing a Mark 1A, whereas the other one that I can't remember the developer's name is doing a 9C. So it's really going to be hard to pick. Hello. Flying Iron, that's it. Yeah, the Flying Iron one's coming. I can't say as I've ever heard of them myself. They're, but I looked into them. They're small Australia-based developer. They've got a few nice aircraft. I think they've got a Spitfire, P-38, P-47, and a small civilian plane. I have a feeling they'll be converting those over to the new sim, but I think they're for X-plane, so there's some conversion, something or other going on there. Maybe. Or they're just really quick. So I do believe that that is our destination right on ahead of us. We're about 7.5 miles out. Ah, there we go. If I'm really going into the Wayback Machine with Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator 1, I was always partial to the Mark 1 Spitfire over even the Hurricane. And I always preferred it over the Mark 9. Couldn't tell you why. It was probably just some stupid aesthetic reason, but yeah, it was what it was. So we're going to go ahead and disable the autopilot, and we're going to start pulling back to the power. Not sure hitting the Jameson this early. A lot of flight to go and not enough Jameson. Or is it not enough Jameson and too much flight? Yeah, we'll go for runway 28. So we're starting our descent. I'll get landed first so that I can hopefully get out and record some landings. Kebmo25 is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well. So welcome to Savannah, Georgia. All flaps are open. Get 1 notch of flaps out. We're going to put the prop all the way forward. I'm going for a short final. Ben McClure is in. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Ooh, it's getting bumpy. But we have the airfield definitely in sight. Don't worry, Ben, you weren't late. You showed up exactly when you needed to. No worries. Throw in another notch of flaps. A little high on the... Oh, there's the glide slope. Now we're on the glide slope. low on the glide slope. One last notch of flaps. Sink rate. A little bit of a bounce, but that's okay. Not too bad. We'll get turned off here. Ed gives it a minus 65. Probably. So we'll pull off to the side here. Parking brake engaged. Oh, Technical is down. Bronco is in. Shock loop. The Caravan. Dougal McTavish is in. Technical off in the Seminole on the taxi ramp. Taxiway ramp. Taxi. There's Draco. Commandant Muttley is in. Yeah, great landings thus far. So many Fireflies with us tonight. Red Pilot Randy is in. I dare say we should have a few more inbound. There has to be more of us. There's a whole cloud. There's Druid. There's Bronco. There's Kebmo. another Seminole with Poppy Meerkat. Ooh, I think that's a Jabberoo. Kingsman. Nicely done. There's USA PR1 inbound. Chilled Corky is checking out the tree line. How are you, my friend? Hope you're well. Let's see. The current temperature is reading about 19 degrees Fahrenheit. And about 30.36 air pressure. It's a little chilly, but it's Michigan. We've had worse. Right, so we're high pressure is great for just about anything but the sinuses. My sinuses are not being happy today. A little congested. So we got one notch of flap down. As it seems Corky has met us back at the runway after the brief excursion. He had to take a trip to the woods briefly. That's okay. As Ropalero is now following on Twitch, many thanks, my friend. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content as we try not to collide with the Mooney. So we get on runway heading best as we can. Alright, mixture goes to Rich. Slowly add power. And we're airborne. Flaps going up. We'll start our casual left-hand turn as the Fireflies get airborne. Remind me to take some nasal decongestant after the stream, because not being able to breathe out of one nostril is rather annoying. And it makes me sound funny. And I sound funny enough as it is. I don't need any help. So it appears as we've got everybody up. Route, we are on SVN. Yep, we just took off from SVN. We're on our way to KCRG, which is Jacksonville Executive. Is getting some buffering. Uh-oh. So it seems everybody is up. We're going to activate the autopilot. We're going to lower the engine power a bit. As we make our turn for on course. Axle 1324 Gaming asks, is it a 152 or 172? It is a 182 from Coronado, available in the InSim marketplace. Manifold pressure and RPM is sitting at 23 inches of manifold pressure and about 2250 RPM. Trying to stay at about 2,500 feet as set by the autopilot. We East USA. Ropalero, East USA. I'm dropping everything. Top Gun, you stay up there. So this is going to be the longest leg of the trip tonight at roughly 102 nautical miles from Savannah, Georgia to Jacksonville, Florida. We'll be flying over the coastline for the most part. We'll be passing by Brunswick, Georgia. Basically, we'll be going through the entire state of Georgia. Metal CI is now following over on Twitch. Many thanks, my friend. Hope you're well. Drop anything, just yeah. Drop anything, but no buttons. Are you using unlimited fuel? No. In fact, my fuel reading is I'm just under half tank on both tanks. So I'm doing okay. Yeah. Back in the day, I used to, but I've had multiple times where I've been on stream and the engine will go quiet. I'm like, gosh, the airplane got awfully quiet all of a sudden. Oh, I forgot to add fuel. It's another thing to just keep me awake during the day, or during the flight rather, because it is very relaxing to fly. Oh, for sure. Yep, get your cruise settings right with your mixture and RPMs, and you'll be good to go. Let's see, where's my fuel flow at currently? I'm doing some amount of fuel flow. Looks like we have a Mooney zooming. Another beautiful airplane. You can close the cowl flaps. Awesome. I have the mixture leaned a little bit, but still running fairly rich. Probably dial her back a little bit more. GPU. I'm running it. I was gonna make a joke, but it sounded funnier into my head. You ever have those jokes where you start saying it and then you realize that joke was a lot better in my head, I better stop it now. I just had one of those moments. It should be good about 8, then the 182 set for cruise below 050, yeah. Total trip estimated is 246.5 nautical miles at a speed of 130 knots. It should take a little over 2 hours. We're going a little slower than that, so take a little bit longer than that. But that's the fun of sightseeing. Keen Lafford is in. Good to see you. Hope you're well. The cowl flap is right here. As Keen V. Lafford is now following on Twitch. Many thanks, dude. So right by the little radio dongle is the cowl flaps. To the right of the radio mic and below the rudder trim. Awesome. I think temperatures are actually fairly fine. Oil pressure's a little on the low end of the green. Oil temps well in the green. Cylinder heads all in the green. That's in the green. We're green all the way around. That's all I can show on that one. Jepson 2001, the man, the myth, the legend is in the house. Glad to have you, my good sir. Hope you're doing well, my friend, and not overworking yourself. We're just taking a cozy, warm trip down in Florida. On our way to Daytona for the big race. Gibbo Islands here. Good evening to you. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Beautiful day for a flight, that's for sure. Daytona 500. The biggest race, arguably the biggest race of the NASCAR season. It is also the first points race. Only 97 days until the Eurovision. It's getting closer. So we've looked off towards the sun. Now we look away from the sun a little bit and see the fireflies following along with us over Georgia. On sparks for the fireflies, very nice. We can see this race and other. That's awesome, Goblin. Busch Racing starts tonight to Daytona Cup Series on Sunday. Sounds about right. I thought the Clash was tonight. The ARCA race, no, because I think it's the Clash tonight. Trucks tomorrow. With the the duels and the trucks tomorrow. ARCA, no, I'm getting it wrong. Definitely getting it wrong. Trucks on Thursday. ARCA on Saturday, or no, trucks on Friday. Yeah, trucks on Friday, ARCA and Xfinity on Saturday. Thursday's the duels, and tonight's the Clash. I never got into F1 racing. I never had a problem with it. I just had never got sucked into it. Then again, I never really got into Indy cars either. I think the two biggest types of racing that I really get into are stock cars and sports cars. So like IMSA or I've watched highlights of British Touring Car Championship races. So yeah, like touring cars, sports cars, and stock cars are probably the ones that I watch the most. Rally cars, those things give me anxiety watching them. Just trying to go that fast in that tight of quarters, it's just like, oh, and it's It is not. It is a deadly sport. You have to be on your game. Is it really that bad, Dougal? You watching the weekend? Aha. See, when it comes to stick and ball sports, such as baseball or soccer, football, American football, rugby, and all that, the only one I can really get into is hockey. And it's kind of a gladiatorial kind of thing, I guess. Yeah, Colin McRae. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, and they say baseball's, the great American pastime, and I'm just like, never got into it. I have some friends that are just huge baseball nuts, and it's just like, good on you. I don't get it. I've never been good at it. I'll let them enjoy it, but it's just, I never could get into it. I do think that my enjoyment of hockey has some basis in it. It's the less gladiatorial type of ring entertainment because there's fights, and they don't discourage it necessarily. There's a penalty for it, but they let them fight, and it's just like, yeah, kind of something Neolithic about it. Golf, oh, look, don't get me started on how boring golf is. I could watch paint dry before I'll sit and watch golf. Cricket's beyond me, but a lot of that's just because I'm an American. So it's I can understand that. Ice hockey all day long. The only place I got into, so I got cheered. Yeah, and that's the great thing about hockey is it's a lot more physical. And not to say that like American football isn't physical, but it's just like you get in a fight in American football, and there's just they're like no, brr. You have to be really bad, do a really bad fight in hockey to get more than a 2-minute penalty. One case of beer at a time. That's the way to do it. You can start doing those beer curls. Middle school was the last gladiator I was in. Fights every day. I know what that's like. I'd like to get into rugby. Seen some games and it looks awesome. It seems like I could be wrong. I could be very, very, very wrong. But rugby kind of seems like some sort of combination of American football and soccer with a little bit of hockey tossed into it. I could be very wrong. I don't. Yeah. I do know that I almost played high school lacrosse, but the team never panned out. Someone picked up the ball and legged it. That's kind of like American football. For sure. A lot of pure run, no pads. Okay, so it's just like someone took it. It's like it sounds like rugby is like American football without the pads. Granted, it's the other way around. So American football is like rugby with pads and helmets, but played like soccer. It's like hand soccer. You'll have to pardon the comparison. It's me trying to get my head around it, try to understand it from an American perspective. It's like things are different over here. I barely understand American football because you have the NFL, you have the XFL, you have college football, and they all have different rules. So understanding them is complicated as it is. Soccer is a much more fluid game. So rugby, the ball has to pass by. Interesting. So I guess, but sometimes American soccer. When I was in elementary school, I wanted to play soccer, but never had the money to get into it. High school, it was lacrosse. Started to get into it, the program fell through. Motorsports has been the one thing that I've held on to as a fandom and understanding, because it's a car. You drive fast. I can drive fast. I did a lot of sim racing in the early, well, the mid to late, from about 2004 to about 2011. I raced online a lot. And then life kind of happened and never could get back into it full time. I like the way you put that, Corky. Oh. As a teenager, raced 250. Nice. You know, you want to talk about sports that are cost prohibitive to get into, motorsports. Oof. That is rough. That is a rough deal getting into racing at any level. Yeah. Because there's a lot of race car drivers that are pilots too. And they kind of look at it like the antithesis, where racing is very intense and very demanding, whereas flying is very relaxing, so it's kind of a release for them. What advantage American football has over other sports? Can confirm, you don't see a whole lot of cheerleaders in hockey. Vehicle races, you can't beat the motocross. Oh, for sure. Yeah, you get the X Games and whatnot. I guess my mom used to ride dirt bikes when she was a kid. Not any kind of professionally, but for fun. I've attempted one real race at a local track. Had a $200 Chevy Cavalier, and I didn't even make the race. I was the slowest car at the track for a lot of reasons. But my fuel filter stopped working and couldn't find a way to bypass it, and didn't actually get to race. Eat Bobby Flair. Well, see, NASCAR is getting more road course races, so it's not just a turn left. And it's not easy trying to go, as fast as you can through a high bank turn. So it puts a lot of G-forces on your body. It's like doing a high G turn, and you have to use, keep constant pressure on the steering wheel. So it's not as easy as it looks. Having done as much sim racing as I have, it's not as easy as it looks. In fact, sir, if you get a chance, I don't know what time it's going to be on. It's going to be later tonight, so it's probably going to be in the middle of the night for you guys. But look at the Busch Clash. They're running the Daytona road course, and it's left turns and right turns. They do a pretty dang good job. It's a heavy car. You're talking 3,500 pound car. Bond skiing is fast. Cross country skiing was kind of fun. We did that in gym class in, was it 5th grade? So the later part of elementary school. Ooh, picking up some major chop. So this is that big bay, so we consult our chart. It appears we are over Jekyll Island, or going past Jekyll Island, I should say. Maybe. Could be. Could very easily be wrong. Isle Man TT. I've heard about that. See, I like watching skiing. There's a lot of things I like watching. I like doing more than I like watching. Skiing is one of them. It's just, it's different during the Olympics when they're doing the cross country where they have the 3 different things, but you have to ski to each position. So we're 43 and a half-ish nautical miles out. So I think that does actually put us where I thought it did. 09 Juliet, that is Jekyll Island. Biathlon, that's the one. So we're just past Jekyll Island, for those following along with the charts. I might do a sim restart at the next airport. Now, if I remember correctly, the Isle of Man race, it's basically there's some expectation that someone's going to die, which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, yeah. People always die at IOM races, but it's free. It's very true. The drivers take a risk, and they alone are responsible for it. I'm running a few clouds. Few clouds, and it's about 8:51 a.m. in the sim. Yeah. I mean, they do with the cars and whatnot and safety equipment. They do the best they can, but at the end of the day, it's still a risk, a very strong risk, and that the drivers accept. So when we do arrive to Jacksonville, we'll watch all the landings. I'll restart the sim because I'm picking up quite a bit of chop. Maybe it's all the water. I'm wondering. Pardon me. Yeah, the Cat 10 is nice. As Ed steps away for a few. The Cat 10 is really nice. It has a lot of visibility. And it's fairly easy to fly. We're seeing the Cap 10 now. Roger, RC75 is in. Good to see it. Hope you're well. I can breathe out of my nose again. Hallelujah. Mostly. I'm picking up some serious chop. That's 100% true there, Allison. But once we get to Jacksonville, I'll do a complete sim restart. Hopefully that'll clear it up for our trip down to Daytona. Still about 33 nautical miles from Jacksonville. Very nice beaches, but you gotta watch out for the gators. To a lesser degree, yes. Some of those seats are so dirty they look like someone's... Oh dear. I've yet to go to Florida in real life. It's one of those states that I just haven't made it to yet. Give me low frame rates and capture noise as well. Fair enough. Yeah, I'll do a complete sim restart as soon as we get to Jacksonville. Hopefully that'll clear a lot of the issues up. Animal Kingdom Lodge. That sounds exciting. Yeah, Florida thunderstorms. That's the least you got to worry about weather-wise with Florida. You get hurricanes down there. Oh dear. Yeah, that's just the way the weather system is down there. It's really humid. Best time to visit Florida is in December and January and February when it's cold. My goodness. And I haven't had frames this bad in a while. I'm thinking it's part of it, Dougal. Hopefully after the sim restart here in a little while. Although it's getting really bad. Tell you what, everybody keep flying on course. I'm gonna try something. That's not quite the scene I was looking for. Let's go to that one. So we're going to go to main menu. Yeah, as soon as I go to the menu, the frames are peachy keen. Waiting on the sim to think about life and figure out what it's doing. No. We're going to arrival. Departure. Fly. It was fine early on. It's just over time it decided I'm running 32 megs of 32 gigs of RAM. There we go. And we're smooth again. Sorry to hear it, Wayland. Glad to have you as long as we did. Hopefully things get sorted out for you. Hopefully the update fixes some of these issues. Direct to TRG. Go. All right. Yeah, the fact of the matter is the servers are unstable and they're causing a lot of problems. So I feel your pain. Sunday was it was absolutely awful for me. So I feel the pain, Waylon. 3-2 is active tonight. Sounds good. So now we're on course. Frames are back. So huzzah. East USA Aviation RC. HP too low. It says watch the traffic before a turn. Absolutely. Since the Seminole right now, what do you think is the must-have payware plane? The Waco, hands down. That's out right now. The Waco. I couldn't honestly tell you, Axel. I went into the menus, redid the flight, bam. Yeah, no, the Waco hands down is probably the must-have because it is so much fun. And with VR especially, holy cow. The Waco is nuts. I mean, it's great fun in this, non-VR. But once you get into VR, holy cow, it's just amazing. Destination airport is Kilo Charlie Romeo Golf or Jacksonville Executive. Yeah, and the best thing is with the Waco, it's priced about half of what the other Coronado planes are. And it's a lot of fun. Of planes coming out, I would probably say the must-haves. Let's see, if we were to put a time limit on of aircraft not that are going to be released between now and say mid-March, if there is one must-have, it'd be a toss-up between a Spitfire and the PA-28. Granted, I'm not sure about the PA-28's release, but I imagine it's going to be soon. The T-45 looks great, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a must-have. I would put the PA-28 or the Spitfire as a must-have over the T-45. Yeah, no, Warbirds, yeah, Warbirds are a must. I'm sure either one of those are coming within a reasonable amount of time. Draco, that's all sim pilots. If it's not on software, it's on hardware, and if it's not on hardware, it's on software. Yes. I have a buddy that would really love to see a P-40. I can't say as I disagree. Can't wait for the C-47. That's going to be a must-have. Ooh, B-25. Those would be fun. Oh, it could be worse. Instead of a pump, it could be like in the F4F Wildcat, where it's a crank and you have to turn the crank 30 some odd times to get the gear up. No worries, Catbat. Been playing around with some OBS settings to kind of help things out, and it seems to be doing funny things with Twitch, so I may revert some of those changes. Roger that, Kingsman. Sorry about the second CTD. I don't know if that attacked him for a huge hit. It's nuts. I mean, from where we were in 1921 to where we are here in 2021, in 100 years, we've come a long way. I mean, even from 1903 to 1943, we made huge leaps and bounds. Not a lot of talk about the World War II Typhoon. Oh, the absolute monsters. I'm not sure there's any necessarily in direct development for Flight Sim. But, I mean, having a P-47, the Jug was always a monster. There's a reason why they called it the Jug. Right wing. No, I don't see anybody. We're gonna... Yeah, it's the technology in today's aircraft and related systems is just ridiculous. So here we are over at Jacksonville Executive, getting ready for landing. So suppose I could turn on the camera for dramatic effect. So I have to extend the downwind just a little bit. There's one notch of flaps. We'll start our turn in. Overshot it a little bit, that's okay. You never know. So we've got 4 whites, so we're a little high on the glide slope. We want 2 white and 2 red. Ooh, she bouncy. She bouncy. Throw some power at it. Oh, little bounce. Very nice landing to the other 182. Gonna pardon my way off to the ramp. Runway 32, correct. Just trying to get into the apron, onto the apron. So we'll park it here. Get in. Come on. There we go. I missed Stewart's landing. Many apologies. Will hide me now. And runway 32 is cleared for landing. There's Repolero. Coming up, Muttley's in. Ooh, there's a Seminole of Technical. There's another 182 of Kebmo. And Dade Wiggles is in. Good to have you. Druid Zeus is in. There's Red Pilot Randy. Oh, they're all happening. Draco's in as well. Poppy Meerkat's in. Ooh, DA-62 with Aviation RC. Cap 10 of Catbat. There's Chilled Corky. Oh no, Catbat nosed it. So once we get done with the landings here, we'll have one leg left to go to Daytona. As Dougal and Sean Legoman are coming in. There's Dougal in now. Oh dear. Got one more inbound. And there they are. Sean Legoman. Sean the man of Lego. Nicely done. Hey, if you paid for the whole runway, take the whole runway. You'll get no argument out of me. There's USA PR1 inbound. Last one. Nicely done. All right. So that means now we go to this screen while I restart the old simulator. As MFern94 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Hope you enjoy the content. Glad to have you along. Hope you keep well. Chilled Corky is off. Glad to have you along. You rest well, and we'll definitely catch you on the Discord server and on the next flight, which should be Murph's tomorrow. Excited to figure out where he's going to be flying. Murph always knows how to pick the good places to fly. See, he always compliments me on my choice of area to fly, and then one ups me the next stream, and it's just like, you're always a better pick of the scenery there, Murph. I tip my hat to his ability to pick them up. So, as you'll see on the screen, I do have a note of Firefly meetup in Oshkosh, Wisconsin on 25 to 31 July 2022. So long as the world kind of goes back to some semblance of normal. I know I saw something from the EAA about AirVenture this year and the precautions they're taking so that they might run it this year. But we'll see what happens for next year when we're all planning to, or we're trying to organize a bit of a meetup. You'll see the ticker at the bottom, well, the two tickers at the bottom of the screen. One is to recognize all of the wonderful people that have decided to take time out of their, I guess, well, not just take time out of their day to spend here with myself and the Fireflies in the stream, but to also financially support the stream. And you all have my deepest of thanks, and the least I can do is give a recognition to them throughout the stream as Aviation RC with a follow. Many thanks. I am very grateful. Do hope you enjoy the content and the flights. I agree, Kingsman. Let's hope the world kind of gets back to some sense of normal for the meetup. I also do have my social media accounts down there, scrolling by. And down, find it on the camera, there's all the lovely people subbed to the Twitch channel. You're all wonderful people, and you have my gratitude and have a way of showing or continuously humbling me, and it's great to have you along. And financial support is in no way required to be a part of the stream, but it is greatly appreciated. Night, everyone. Thanks for the nice flight. It hurts some of the stream, which is better than none. YouTube still better. That's fair enough, Catbat. Sorry that there's issues with Twitch and your viewing. This week it's pretty much a test week for me to kind of see if I can work some bugs out and see what works better, and we'll kind of go from there. But it was lovely having you along. Hope you have a good night. So we wait on the old simulator to do its thing. Let's see. Well, ladies and gents, one was. Stuart, you take it easy. You have a great night. It was great having you along. Hopefully, we'll see you more soon. We'll catch you on the Discord channel and as well as the, pardon me, the next stream. Okay, KCRG. Jacksonville Executive. Zoom details. Let's do Blur. And then KDAB. Daytona Beach. To be few clouds. 10 o'clock. We hit that button. Twitch seems to be having a bit of a kerfuffle. I think we're getting there. What is going on with Twitch? feel like it's just me. Hey, you keep those lessons up, Stu. Those are important, and I wish you well on them. Okay. So Twitch's little episode has cleared up. Alright, so we're back in here. Start that. We get ready to go. Parking brake is set. Cowl flaps are open. Dinging needs to stop. And clear prop. Avionics are coming on. Lights on. Wait for that to do its thing. That. Come on, autopilot. Alright, so there's 1,000, 2,000, 500. Pardon me. That's the vertical speed in 256. Nav, CDI, transponder, that. Back, inset off. Check outside real quick. Make sure things are going to plan. And release parking brake, increase throttle to brake momentum. And we make our way to the runway for our final leg, down to Daytona International Airport and over the Daytona International Speedway. So we'll pass the ILS hold short. Be off on 2-3. Lights are in. The strobe lights are on. Taxi light off. Landing light on. One notch of flap in. Or down, I should say. Line up on the runway. And mixture to rich. Slowly advance the throttle for departure. And we're up. There's 300 feet, flaps coming up. So we look back and check for the fireflies. Start our left turn. Circle the field. All those lights. Just look at the scenery, isn't that something? We got another Firefly up and away. Looks like most everyone is up, so we're gonna get in the old cockpit. Come down yonder way a little bit. We're gonna start reducing engine power to about, call it 22 inches of manifold pressure, 2300 RPM, give or take. And engage the autopilot. So we're one day closer to the weekend. Hope everyone is at least finding a way to manage to get through the week. I know for me, the streams help. Between streaming myself and watching Murphy, they're always a great help to the mood. Yes, indeed, Allison. Streaming and flying with the Fireflies is, I think, a highly recommended coping mechanism. I'd say it was approved by 9 out of 10 doctors. Because you always get that one. It has to be a little contrary. That certainly is a big tower for such a relatively small airfield. That was on my automatic, the Streamlabs chat. I haven't figured out a way to do that with Streamlabs yet, but it's in the works. So, a different chat system. As it seems that Twitch is once again having a fit. Yeah, Twitch is having its own fun. Thankfully, it hasn't been on my end. It's been on Twitch's end. Cross your fingers and knock on wood. the important thing is we're still flying with the Fireflies. I think we're at cruise, so we'll close up the cowl flaps. We're about 67 nautical miles out. Running about 22 inches of manifold pressure at 2280 RPM. As we say farewell to Jacksonville on our way to Daytona. So perhaps, since it seems that the NASCAR Cup Series will be back in Daytona next weekend, we'll find a little Florida trip to start from Daytona and return to Daytona. See how it goes. I'll play around with some ideas. Let's see. Somebody did. Aviation RC, weird, I'm not showing up on Steam, but definitely right next to you. I'll try to. Interesting. It's a bug that happens from time to time. Not exactly sure what causes it. Kingston, you have a good night. Sorry about the computer issues. Hopefully the big update Thursday will alleviate some of that, as well as the update that's possibly coming next week. But glad to have you along. It's good having you. So you take care of yourself. We'll catch you on Discord and in the next stream. Yeah, it has a lot of visibility in it. We get a view of the beaches. There's a nice Seminole. Just Lovely way to look at the world here in Flight Sim. Between the humidity, the snakes, the bugs, the gators, I could never live in Florida. Visit for sure. Live there? Nah, I'm good. Up here in Michigan, it might get cold. We might have to deal with snow. And we might have to deal with people that forget how to drive. But we don't have... I think there might be one species of venomous snake, one species of venomous spider, no hurricanes, no earthquakes, the very rare tornado. I'll deal with winter happily. I will happily take winter over all of the nasty things that want to have at you down in Florida. So, other than Flight Sim, as Musket Back Work, thanks. Glad to have you along, Ed. You take care, and we'll catch you on the Discord. And we're looking forward to the ATC stuff. Enjoying it fast, my friend. Absolutely, Goblin. Absolutely. Nope. I mean, we have the odd bobcat, but that's about it. I mean, you occasionally see a cougar. They're pretty rare. Wolves are rare. I don't know that there's any bears in Michigan. Michigan's kind of a nice place to live, other than the cold and the snow and the people that are forgetting how to drive in the snow, even though it happens every year. But I digress. Have I mentioned how nice it is to have a space heater just for my feet? Because if my entire body, my feet get cold all the time. I could be overheating in the rest of my body, and my feet just icicles. I can deal with wolves. I could even deal with bears. I have the tools for bears. But snakes, spiders, insects, humidity, no, I'm good. It's still a bit stiff, but I do appreciate you asking. It's getting better. Just a wee bit stiff. And I'll take stiff over what it was the other day. Oh, that was not fun. Yeah, that'll do it. If my tower was in a different spot, it would probably work well as a space heater, but it's not near my feet because I try to keep it up off the carpet. Yeah, spasms, no. See, if there's two things that can really derail anything that I'm doing, it's if my back is killing me or if my head is killing me. Like, if I have a nasty headache, which I get more frequently than I'd really like to, I'm done. I'm useless. I can't do anything. which is really annoying because you want to do things and enjoy things, and then when your head just makes you useless, it's just like, no, why? As large member just followed on here on Twitch, many thanks, my friend. I don't recall seeing the notification pop up, but I saw it in chat, so many thanks. So this is one of the shorter legs of the trip. Still about 44 nautical, well, closer to 43 now. Nautical miles, estimated time 20 minutes. A workout just peachy. As Hannibal would regularly say, I love it when a plan comes together. And that's Hannibal from A-Team, not the other guy. We don't talk about the other guy. Speaking of headaches, I'm trying to nip one in the bud right now, and it's going to be a doozy. Yeah, wolves are nice. I think we do have a sanctuary for wolves, but they're kind of cordoned off so that they can be wolves in the wild, but you know they can be protected as well. Since their presence in Michigan is fairly low. Yeah, my headache cap's probably going to be a little bit of Stolchanaya or Russian Standard. And a little bit of a glass and a tasty beverage. And some food. As I just took some ibuprofen, so as to help alleviate any kind of swelling, which could be causing or inflammation, I should say, which could be part of a cause. Oh no, Dougal. My heart goes out to you, but my heart goes out to you, but my words, they're a little troublesome right now. My heart goes out to you, my dude. I know the feeling. It's frustrating as all get out. I understand, Dougal. Yeah, the things we put up with. But you take care tonight. Dougal will catch you on the Discord and in the Murphy streams, and definitely on Saturday. So you take care. And much sympathy going to you, my friend. Oh, it seems as though Join FS has launched some Join FS merch. Nice. Oh dear. I want you to see that. Yeah, it's just weird bugs, and I'm not sure what causes them, and I'm sure that Osobo are looking into them. It's just odd. See. So we're looking to come into Daytona Beach International. Looking at a diagram. We're going to land on runway 25 left. Once we reach the airfield. To repeat that, it's 25 left. As I run out of water. Been quite the night for water consumption for me. Not that that's a bad thing. We're about 30 miles out. About 13 minutes. It's just a good-looking airplane, the 182. Specifically the blue one, a little partial. Yeah, I'm starting to think that I think a lot of their issues with the frames per second deal with the G1000. So I think that most of the planes that have some sort of trouble are the G1000, G3000, and the other one, the glass. Anything with a glass cockpit has a tendency to have a lot of problems. I don't know. We're just going to do a visual approach. But I could browse, see what's available in mine. If my camera would cooperate. Let's see, procedures, select approach. I've got 2.5 right, yeah. So you'd have to do an RNAV. What am I hitting? Yeah, no ILS. I'm not one to do procedures as far as ILSs and stuff. I don't know much about them. I'm a VFR pilot, so never really dealt with ILS too much. So no worries there. I apologize for any misunderstanding. Oh, for sure. It's definitely a skill I want to learn. It's just it A hasn't been a priority, and B, I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm an instrument trainer. Aha! Fair enough. It's always good to practice the old skills in the sim before the real world. Get familiar with the idea and the concept and some of the procedure to do it. Gives you a leg up when the real deal. It's one of the best things about flight sim, especially this one. I mean, MSFS 2020 really lends itself to the VFR pilot, and which is fantastic because in most other flight sims, it's always been heavily catered to the instrument and the airline and those needing the system, and where the visuals are kind of an afterthought. And so it's nice to have a bit of a equalizing of the playing field, as it were, for us visual pilots. Not that there's anything wrong with the systems, right, as far as people that like doing things by the numbers and all that. That's all well and good. But there's so many of us that just do visual stuff, and now we actually get to do a lot more exploring. Passes approaches flows and standard operating procedure with your Academy's DA40 NGs. So awesome. I will never disparage anyone for doing the procedures. It's just, for me personally, it's not something I do a lot. Mostly because I'm not familiar with them. My experience with aviation has been 95% VFR flying. There's been rare cases of needing to know anything related to instrument flying, and it's kind of how I do things because it's what I know. But there's definitely room for learning, and I do want to learn. It's with the two-tone Murphy community and us getting into Join FS. We're starting to learn ATC procedures and all the extra stuff, because we have our own environment that we control. We keep it fun. We keep it. The level of entry is low. We basically have it so that you can go from no experience to learning things, and because that's how we roll. We want a fun environment where people can come and learn but still have fun. Love to, oh, for sure. Cessna 150s are such a good little airplane. With my size, I would probably need to step up to a 172, or ideally, I would love a 175 for the sake of nostalgia, but owning an airplane is quite a ways away. So we're about 13 miles out, 6 minutes. Oh, for sure. Kraken is saying, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Learned on MSFS on ILS at first. It helps learning to land in altitudes and stuff. Got a series for what the plane needs to do for landing. Just watching the AP do a thing on it. Nice. I shall never own one, but learn to fly with it. Yeah. See, I'm at... when people ask me if I'm a pilot, I legally no. I can fly. I know how to fly an airplane. I could if in the right situation. But I do not have a pilot's license. And that's solely for the reason of I've been around aviation my whole life, and it's been a privilege to be around it. It's in a lot of ways it's been a huge blessing to be around it. And so it's just aviation's just been in my blood for forever, and it's so it's almost second nature to me. It's just doing all the legality, paperwork, and red tape and all that jazz that kind of gets in the way. Although that being said, there's a lot of planes, at least here in the States, ultralights and some other kit planes that you can actually put together and fly with no license. It's not to say that there's no rules. There's still rules you have to abide by, but there are aircraft that you can fly without a license, which is nice. It's a nice looking airfield. But owning an airplane is very expensive because you have the just the cost of buying it, plus fuel and oil and other lubricants and fluids. Not to mention having a place to park it, whether it be a hangar or a tie down, insurance and all that fun stuff. So it's a costly thing to own an airplane. I'll have to look up Trent Palmer. But I mean, there's just loads of things, and then I can't speak to what that's like over in Europe. But it's that's one of the thing about going to Oshkosh is you get to see all that stuff and see it in person and get to ask questions and be like, what's this and what's that and how does this work? And I'm reasonably certain that there's something international for pilots at Oshkosh. I'm just a PC pilot having fun, but I understand in the end. Yeah, I mean, that's and this gets into why I love FS. It's because you can have the people that have never flown in real life outside of maybe a commercial jet as a passenger, and we can all fly, and we can at least learn how to fly, and that's awesome. And that's what has me so excited about it, because it's never been more accessible than it is now. And that's fantastic. So we have the airport in sight. We have Daytona International Speedway. We're going to overfly the airport, turn left, and go for left traffic for runway 25 left. So we'll overfly the speedway and the airport, and then we'll pop back into the cockpit. Love this Gracer. I appreciate the kind words, Aviation RC. Glad to have you along. Glad you're enjoying it. Be sure to check out Two Tone Murphy. I'll give him a shout out in the old chat. Because if you like my streams, you'll love his. And he has several times the group flights. Great guy too, down to earth, and he's a lot better than me. He's Irish. That's just instantly better. So there we have the Daytona International Speedway. You can see all the fun stuff. I'm waiting for some third-party scenery developer to go around and make the racetracks, because that would be awesome. As we have a return of the Stutters. As a 2.5 mile D-shaped oval with an optional, or with an available infield road course. This was the very first of the super speedways. It's really fun. Yeah. So, now that we've overflown the airport, we're going to disable the old autopilot. Mixture and prop go to full. Throttle comes down quite a bit. So we're going to turn to heading 070 so as to be in a downwind. As we see the beachfront ahead of us. Oh man, the lag is real. I'm starting to wonder if I'm starting to get that name tag related nonsense. And there's some notch of flaps in. We'll put 2 for good measure. It could also be the photogrammetry. I've been having issues with that, and I usually have it off. But lately I've been adventurous. And it could just be OBS. It is an impressive sight, and it's right on the airfield practically. So we're getting close to being on final. Throw our last notch of flaps in. See 25 right, we're going for 25 left. There's the tower. There's the threshold. There's the runway. Nice. We need to increase speed a little bit. suppose, camera for dramatic effect. Get an idea of the inputs I'm putting into fly and land and how much focus it takes. A little bit of rudder. And we're down. A little bit of a bounce, but that's okay. We can forgive a little bounces. We'll pull off here to the left. I'll park it right about there. So runway 25 left is open. We missed technicals, but I'm sure it was absolute butter. We'll come down and get the runway in view. Oh no! I'm sorry about that, Noel. I'm glad you were flying along with us. Many apologies for the crash. Very glad that you were here in the chat and in the flight in general. And we'll catch you on Discord and in the next stream for sure. I'm always glad to have all of you flying along, or even just in the chat. It's quite humbling that y'all would come and keep me company on these flights. I'm very grateful for it. I hope you all enjoy it as much as I enjoy putting on the show. It's a nice, relaxing flight. Other than the stuttering issues. I'm starting to think that I'm getting that GT draw whatever. So I'll probably get rid of the name tags for the next flight, just as at least a test. Yeah, that one. There's Rogers RC on 25 right. Yeah, and I haven't been having the issues up until now. There's Druid Zeus also on 25 right. We're on 25 left. Technical is away. Glad you enjoyed it. Happy to have you along. We'll definitely catch you in the next stream and on Discord. Is nobody coming in to 25 left? There's Technical in the Seminole. Aviation RC is in the infield lake, it seems. There's Druid. M. Furnace paused mid-air. Suddenly everybody's paused for me. That's a little weird. I'm gonna blame the server because now everybody's paused. Well, that's weird. Hey, there's movement. I think there's some server issues afoot. Very odd. Well, that being said, we're going to leave you with this picture and some internet weirdness. Because the internet's the internet. Again, I do appreciate everybody coming along for the flight. Hope you all enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure having you all along. It's been really nice having company doing these flights. Remember, Thursday I'm taking the night off so that I have a couple of days to get ready for the big SimWings group flight on Saturday, which I will be doing my best to live stream anyway, streaming as much as possible. I will have more details as far as making donations and such ready for the stream. But until then, we'll catch you on the Discord. We'll see you on Two-Tone Murphy's streams. He's streaming on Twitch tomorrow and Friday. But until then, be good to each other. Stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Take care.